All right, as long promised from this morning, the interview with Mr. Big Daddy Glenn Biggs, here the promoter for the Florida Pro Kart Series. I'm standing in here with Glenn Biggs, Marcel Fairbairn, the epitome of let's update my Facebook status. He's probably getting ready to do that right now as we speak. So again, Mr. Glenn Biggs, your promoter for the Florida Pro Kart Series. Glenn, I think I've known you for probably maybe going on 15 years or so. I think my son started when he was 8 with the another Florida series here, and I believe you were in that series. Glenn and I have had our run-ins together, I will say. But we've all had run-ins with Glenn, but it's work, okay, and friendship is something else. Glenn Biggs, tell us a little bit about who you are. How did you get to this point?
I just love the sport. I mean, Kristen and myself been working behind the scenes for about 4 years to make this our series. It was no surprise that it was coming. I've been talking, people like Marcel about sponsorships, and because that's very, very important for a series. Ticket Clinic, Karting Source, Duke's Spine, Praga. I mean, the list goes on and on for the people that wanted a change in the state, to make it more fun, family orientated. And I mean, the families out here today are just, they love it, and I love giving it to them. I think it's going to turn out to be a really, really awesome event.
Yeah, that's one thing right there. You've got to have the sponsors in a series to be able to pull off what you're doing right now. And it's sort of neat to walk out here and look out the window, since I haven't been to the drivers' meetings this morning, but to see you walking down with tires, giving away tires. You've got a Praga chassis up here you're giving away. You've given away entries into the next series. You gave away entries into this event as winners of the Florida Winter Tour series. 9 different classes received free entries here into this series. Wanted to know a little bit more about Glenn. Glenn, you were a racer at one time. Is that correct?
Yeah, I started with Kurt Folsom. I was actually mowing his neighbor's lawn. His neighbor was moving, and I bought a Yamaha, and Kurt helped me a lot. Kurt, I was really interested in getting into the sport, and Kurt sat there side by side. He had a Yamaha, so I bought a Yamaha. That didn't last very long for me because, I do everything pretty big, goes for the last name. So I went, bought a brand new Rotax, and I was racing seniors. Then come to find out, I was doing all right, not bad. I was 30 pounds overweight, and then I went to Masters, did pretty well there, and then transferred everything into DD2, and then won a championship with Rotax DD2.
I remember a certain DD2 event in Monticello that was sort of adventurous. We'll leave that one to the books.
Let's talk about it. That was the highest point of my karting career. Rene Martinelli, a lot of people know him, but he's very fast. He's been to the World Finals multiple times. What an awesome competitor. And he was my teammate, and I took him off pole by a half a second, and he was just beside himself. And I see him today, or he sees me, we talk about that moment first before we even say hi. It was just awesome.
Yeah, that was an awesome event. So, okay, let's get back to the Florida Pro Kart Series. Again, how long do you think it took you to put this thing together, and when did you even think about this idea? And by the way, are you nuts?
Yeah, right? That's a lot of people have been asking me about the start time, so, I'm glad, it's not a club, but it is built for the karters. The karters have concerns. I talk to the sponsors. I talk to the people that come. Everybody's here is a customer. And, if they're not happy with something, then we can make a change for the better. I built this. It's not a club, but it is for the karters. Their word counts above and beyond anything else, because without them, we have nothing.
Absolutely. I don't think it's if you're not having fun at an event, there's no reason to come back. So I like to continue that. So your sponsors. You've got Marcel Fairbairn here with the Karting Source. Marcel, how long have you been in karting? You've got a relationship with Glenn Biggs here. Tell us a little bit about your relationship here.
Well, I think my relationship has developed very quickly because I get to see him a lot because he's the steward at so many of these races. And for some reason, I think the stewards just like me because they call me in to talk to them quite often. So, no, as soon as we got into karting, Glenn was actually the race director in another, I guess, not to be mentioned series. And we got to know Glenn really well as a very fair and honest. And to be perfectly honest, I was completely intimidated by him originally because I would cut a joke to him and he'd have a dead serious look on his face like he was going to bite my face off. And so I kind of went, whoa, I don't want to piss that guy off, you know? So, but we got to know him and I became friends with Glenn. And like I said, I got to know him as a very fair and reasonable guy for the most part. We've definitely had some disagreements. But he approached me to help him with this series, and it wasn't even how much, when, what are the details, what's this, what's that. I just said, yes, okay, let me know when to write the check and what you need and how it's all going to be organized, but I'm in. So I think I was probably the first and easiest sponsor that he signed on because we believed in what he was doing, first of all, that it was for the karting community, for the people in it, and we thought that it was going to be a good series. And I think this first event is evidence that it is going to be a good series. So,
absolutely. 120 entries, I believe, is what we end up having for the weekend. About 60 on each day. So the Karting Source, a website designed around one of your other websites, Gear Source, which is a website where people buy and sell gear, gearboxes, wires, cables, lightings, microphones, mixers, etc. So a copy of that, the Karting Source, where now people can go in and buy and sell kart parts. Then I'm going to become a big user of that. I was going to find you yesterday to find out if you have one of those turbo listers like eBay, because I've got thousands of parts that I need to put up. Glenn, again, you've given free entries to Marcel, the Karting Source, and FPKS have given free entries into the next round. And I'm assuming there will probably be free entries into the next round given at that event.
Most likely, yeah. Marcel and I have come to an agreement. You know, it's not about money. It's not. It's about coming out and having fun, being with your family. And Marcel and I both sat down and agreed, you know, if we can save these guys money, it's great. And if they have a chance to win money, it's even better. To win products is great. MG Tire stepped up and gave away a brand new set of tires yesterday for the senior winner. And today we're going to do junior.
Right. Today, the junior winner will get a free set of tires. You know, it's been a while since I've been to a kart race, and I haven't been in it a long time. I've been in it since about 2000, but I've been around in a lot of these series. And to come to a series where they are giving back to the racers, that is exactly what it's about. And again, Marcel, you were talking about Glenn and his ability to understand people and to talk to people. That is one thing that really has amazed me about Glenn Biggs. He can talk to an individual while disqualifying him at the same time, but be the most gentle person I'm serious, to a child. He definitely has a way to talk to people. He's just rough on the adults. Yeah, that's why an adult comes to see you. Okay, so Glenn Biggs, the Florida Pro Kart Series. What a wonderful inaugural event here at Homestead Karting. Your next event is at Palm Beach. And so we'll have 3 events this year. And I'm going to guess that it's just going to get bigger and better from here.
Yeah, from all the feedback, you know, we're listening for the competitors and taking in suggestions. They're all happy. You know, you can't make everybody happy. You know, we're going to talk to WKA about some stuff and see what we can work through together as a series, you know, WKA as well. So, we're going to talk and, hopefully build this series up to be one of the biggest series that we can make it, and make it fun. Keep the fun and the family in it, and give back to the Carters. That's what this series is all about, giving back.
Absolutely. Once again, as I've been saying all weekend, if you're not having fun, please come see Glenn Biggs, because that's what this series is all about. Okay, well, that's going to wrap us up. Anything else, gentlemen, you'd like to say before we roll off, Fairbairn?
No, I'm very appreciative of Glenn to invite us in as a sponsor. We're happy to be a part of not only a great racing series, but an inaugural event, an inaugural weekend of the series. I think it's been a great success. The response we're getting with Karting Source on Facebook, and the amount of registrations we got, we did a little deal where if you registered on our site, we were going to give away a couple of entries into this, which we gave two away, one to Ricardo Villasmil, and the other was to Jade Hubert, who are both here racing this weekend. So we're going to do that again just prior to the next race. We'll give away a couple more entries, and we're just happy to be a part of it. There was a couple examples yesterday where racers came up to me and said, I know you're a sponsor. Do you think we could talk about this or that? And I actually went to Glenn with that racer and said, hey, this guy's got a really great idea. And Glenn said, that is an excellent idea. Let's make a change. Let's work that in. So I think it's going to end up great. I think everyone's got some input here. Glenn's proven himself to be a worthy organizer, not just a good race director. So we're looking forward to it. Absolutely. Glenn Biggs, closing words, sir?
Like I've said, guys, this is a club without a club membership. All of your votes count. If you have a question or a concern, please come see me. That's what I want to give back. I built this to give back to the racers because I believe in each and every one of you.
All right, Glenn Biggs, thank you very much. All right, folks, that's going to be it for our interview with Mr. Glenn Biggs, Marcel Fairbairn of the Karting Source. Folks, if you see one of these gentlemen walking around in the MG shirts, that's your customer service department for the Florida Pro Kart Series. Come up to them. If you've got a question, ask them. If they don't know the answer, they'll get the answer for you. So that's it, folks. Florida Pro Kart Series, Big Daddy Glenn Biggs.